Cynicism has my warning bells blaring with this upcoming game. If you haven't learned that the phrase, "if it looks too good to be true, it is the law of the video game landscape, then I don't know where you've been for the past 20 years. It's a gorgeous new trailer. It's saying all the right things. But will Atomic Heart live up to the hype? Before we speculate, is that Geralt, The Witcher's voice actor, narrating their latest trailer?
It will also provide tidbits on Atomic Heart's looming secrets.
I can't remember the last first-person action RPG that seriously attempted to check all of the AAA boxes. Fallout 76 promised intricate narratives, highly customizable combat systems, a large and interesting world, and of course state-of-the-art graphics. But if we're being honest, no one expected Fallout to deliver on the graphics.
16 times the detail.
BioShock Infinite promised an eerie and mysterious narrative, a creative combat system, beautifully stylized graphics, and a sprawling and complex semi-open world to easily traverse. But if we're being honest, the final world they gave us was Fisher-Price's Little People City. What I'm trying to say is, what was the last AAA first-person action RPG to deliver on graphics, story, gameplay, and world building? Borderlands? Stalker? Is Atomic Heart going to be the first AAA release to blow it out of the water in a very long time? Visually, Atomic Heart's world and style are artsy, creative, dense, and technically impressive, like a combination of BioShock, Wolfenstein, and Half-Life 2. The game almost looks like a showcase for the power of the Unreal Engine's material shaders. Total Half-Life 2 2003 tech demo vibes. What stood out the most to me though were the subtle details in enemy combat animation. Most games need to handicap enemy animation to create predictability and accessibility for players trying to track their shots. This means stiffer enemies that glide across the environment. Or games rely too much on motion capture as a shortcut for realism. But that can make the contrast between real-life movements in fictional game environments look awkward. Atomic Heart's animations look like they're built differently, more Pixar-esque. Handcrafted, slightly exaggerated, and attractive. As if enemy movements stem from the world of Atomic Heart itself. There's a flow to Atomic Heart that makes it all look like a beautiful CGI dream. We all know what happens to expectations when you define your game as an RPG. Or action-adventure. Or is it action RPG now? You better deliver. Atomic Hearts is defining itself as an action RPG. The action part is easy. I wonder though, how much RPG are we gonna get? Based on the trailer, there's gonna be character stat and ability customization on the level of a Deus Ex BioShock hybrid. The total number of abilities looks small and refined, but the stat tree for each looks sufficiently deep. The weapon systems have a lot more customization. Everything you expect in modern first-person shooters. Modifications to damage, speed, capacity, recoil, and a crafting system to go with the scavenging and surviving in a utopia gone to hell story. With a lot to tinker with, Atomic Heart is giving us ways to create distinct play styles which will be great for second and third runs.
Your fighting style will depend on your choice of weapons and skills. Combine firearms and energy or melee weapons as well as glove abilities and use them wisely.
My only worry about the RPG tag is how linear or non-linear the narrative is gonna be.
Communicating with other characters. It's entirely up to you to decide what you will say in dialogue, allowing you to enjoy an array of interesting responses.
Are we going to get Fallout-esque levels of dialogue and missions that go in interesting and quirky directions? Or maybe a little Mass Effect 3-ish where we have choices that in the end don't really matter. Or maybe it's like Telltale's games where simple dialogue options just keep things lively and make narrative sense. However the developers handle it, I'm hoping for RPG to truly mean something in this game. If the narrative branching ends up being 1 mile wide and an inch deep, does that mean the gameplay loop is gonna be just as shallow too? From the trailer, it looks like we'll get the typical shooting and solving puzzles gameplay, and maybe even some of the old Ubisoft Outpost conquering thrown in there.
And repair hives that restore destroyed hubs of the collective, defeated robots, and other elements of the network.
And if that's gonna be the case, then Atomic Heart would have to be some sort of semi-open world, no? There are a few transportation shots in the trailer, but I'm predicting the gameplay loop will follow in BioShock's or the modern Wolfenstein's footsteps, funneled through an action-packed adventure from one wondrous area to another. And they'll only allow us to backtrack where it makes sense. We'll ultimately know when the game releases, but it's going to be disappointing if the gameplay feels like a repeat of the 2010s again. A great ride but no real innovation, like God of War Ragnarok. I really want this game to live up to the hype. And right now it has everything going for it: stunning graphics, a beautiful world, intense gameplay, and a provocative story. But how many AAA releases have failed to execute and dropped the ball in the last 5 years alone? What do you guys think? Is Atomic Heart gonna deliver? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to give the vid a like and subscribe to the channel, and as always, stay cool, gentlemen.